Happy New Year, Broncos country. It's been a fantastic year so far for the Denver Broncos. They're looking down the barrel at the number 1 seed. All they have to do is win, but could fall as far as the number 3 seed. Chargers are looking to rest some guys. We'll see if that's, the path to that number 1. We're going to talk about all that, the playoff scenarios, the injuries, and talk about maybe just how great this Denver Broncos team has been in the year 2025. Let's get this party started. Oh, I don't know, right about now. We'll strike out the band and lead in the team. Welcome to the Denver Bronco Roundup podcast. My name is Keith Brugman. We're brought to you by Rocky Mountain Sports Network. We have an amazing sponsor named Morgan Trinkets, and alongside of me right over here, the judge himself, Mr. Jody Moncrief. Welcome in, Judge, man, and what a fantastic year. We're putting a button on 2025, about ready to jump into 2026, and the Broncos are looking so darn pretty as we get ready for a game right around the corner. Looks, like I said, staring down the barrel of the number 1 seed, man. Doesn't get much better than that for our wrapping up 2025. I can't expect that we would say much different, my friend. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, it's been a great 2025 season for the Broncos. Pretty much stayed healthy for the full year. A couple guys out, but compared to a lot of teams, can't complain. And on pace for the number 1 seed. Not going to complain about that. This is an important game. Go lock it up and make them come through Mile High to get to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Locking up that number 1 seed. There's a few items on Sean Payton's checklist. We've only gotten one so far, man. Got that AFC West title. That's ours. That's great. But we ain't done, man. Go ahead. Get that number 1 seed is the next on the list, buddy.
Right. He downplayed that pretty quick. He said he didn't. He was called and the T-shirt and hat were put in lockers Sunday, and he didn't even bring it up in meetings. I think he knows how important this game is, and everyone else does. So,
yeah.
He basically called the hat and T-shirts ugly. And that was really about it. I mean, you listen to him in the couple of interviews again, he's pretty laser focused on getting this 1 seed. So
yeah, ain't no pride really in that AFC West title when it comes to Sean Payton. That's not the goal. That's not the end game. And like you said, him and this team, these players, have an eye on a prize much larger than an AFC West title, regardless of how ugly the swag might be, I guess.
I will say one thing I thought funny. So I'm sure everyone knows who Zach Stevens is. He reported Denver hit one of their goals was making the playoffs, and Sean Payton the next day he called him out and said, no, that was not one of the 3 goals, and listed the 3 goals. Well, then as soon as Denver clinched, Zach Stevens he tagged him in a post and said, congratulations on getting your first goal of an AFC West title. Kind of trolled him back after that. It was pretty funny. And Sean Payton responded just with an LOL to him.
That's awesome.
It was funny just how he tagged him and stuff. But yeah, they're laser focused, you can tell. And that's good because we've seen a lot of teams get gassed in the fourth quarter. We've seen Green Bay, we've seen the Chargers or the Chiefs, excuse me, in the last couple of weeks. So it's important.
Yes. Yes, man. It just feels different around this team. We know the culture. We know the attitude that they've had. They've they love being the underdog, I think, in a lot of ways, and they've ridden that as far as they've taken this team in some regards. But I think more than anything, this team has set out with big goals in mind. It wasn't making the playoffs. Number one seed in the AFC is on the line. AFC West was first, and of course, the Super Bowl is going to wrap it all up. I'm laser focused in on some of these comments that are coming in. First, Adam and Kayla coming in saying, "Good evening, family. Let's go Broncos. Time to lock up that number one seed. Let's all have a kick butt 2026. Kick ass 2026, as they're saying." Adam, Kayla, let's go out there and do that, man. So good to see you all reunited after the, obviously the tragedy that you went through during the holidays. Love the smiles on the faces. Appreciate you coming in here, spending a little bit of time with us. Mark Calderio coming in saying, "Hey guys, Happy New Year." And good point right off the bat. Let's all be safe this evening. It's great to go out there, celebrate, have a good time. If you celebrate too much, there's plenty of ride options. I know
There's plenty of get a ride option. Don't drink and drive.
Ain't no reason. Ain't no reason on a New Year's Eve. Bars are more than happy to get you taken care of. Ain't no shame in getting that car tomorrow morning. Don't worry about it.
Heck, I'm sure you could call the cops and they would give you a ride. So
absolutely. Just be safe. Just be safe out there if you're going out there and enjoying yourself in an adult fashion or way. Mr. Michael Ronquillo coming in here. He's dropping stars like he always does. New Year's Eve is no different. The Ronk out there, up there with some of the best supporters of the show and been with us for a long time. New Year's Eve, no different. Good evening, Keith and Jody, and Happy New Year Eve. Go Bo Broncos, blue and orange hearts. Of course, that mile high salute. I'll give you one right back, Michael Ronquillo. Appreciate all the love that you've shown throughout the year as we're wrapping up 2025, and it's good to be in here talking some Broncos football like this. And I think we were talking a little bit of J.K. Dobbins right before we hit the show. Running back J.K. Dobbins was in the building during Broncos practice on Wednesday. Denver Overdogs. The Denver Overdogs Broncos, yeah. Michael, let's hit this
go ahead,
man, because J.K. Dobbins in the building, and I know that we're probably going to be all over the map because of comments coming in like this, because we had, I don't know, have a pretty open agenda this evening, but J.K. Dobbins brings up the question of, well, A, he's in the building, which means he's on his way back to possibly be playing for this Denver Broncos team. When do you feel comfortable bringing him back? When do you think he comes back? Does RJ Harvey in any way put up a potential roadblock in any performance that he's done or that he could put together this weekend or in coming weeks and potentially keep the number one spot away from J.K. Dobbins? What are your thoughts on J.K. Dobbins, as he was obviously a big part of our early successes in the running game for the Denver Broncos?
I'll answer your second question first. Definitely not. There's, I don't care if he runs for 400 yards Sunday. When Dobbins is ready, you bring him back. Now, he may be on a pitch count and you have to use him differently, which is fine because you've ramped up Harvey to the point that he can get some more carries. But if you can get 10 to 12 carries out of Dobbins, that's big. Mm-hmm. Plus what you can get in third down out of him. So I've kind of had this gut feeling, and Sean Payton, he's kind of hinted a few different times. I think if the divisional round is very possible, if not AFC title game. So I think that getting this bye is important as well, because you could have, no one's planning for it. You could have Dobbins back for that game.
You could have him back. this is my just thought and concern, Jody, is I don't know how much I want to put the reliance on a J.K. Dobbins coming back from injury. And I know that Sean Payton has been really, really good. In fact, I've been on this podcast multiple times praising the fact that this coaching staff, I have yet to see them rush a guy back to where it's like, oh, well, they brought him back too quickly. He's back, not practicing again. He's injured again. It seems like, Dre Greenlaw, Talanoa Hufanga. We'll talk about Ben Powers here in a little bit. Doesn't matter. It seems like when these guys are brought back, they're 100%. I just, it's a risky proposition, in my opinion, to bring back a guy that you haven't seen in weeks and then put all that on him to say, okay, AFC Championship game, time to go. We need the best of you right now. Even if he is at that 100%, it does also concern me that you're kind of pressing, wanting to maybe bring a guy like that back. Especially, let's face it, if we struggle with the run game in the divisional round and all of a sudden you look like J.K. Dobbins is almost there, I think there's a lot of temptation to go out there and start him. And I don't know if that's your best scenario. You can rebut if you wish, my friend.
I have two things I would push back. One, he's on a 1-year deal, and I think this might sound harsh, but I mean,
you use him up for everything he's worth.
You use him, and if he gets hurt again, I mean, that sucks. But that's the NFL, and you've been playing 6-7 weeks without him anyway. So that, and I'm not putting everything on him. Depending on how the feel of the game goes, like I said, he's probably on a pitch count. When it comes to runs, I'm talking 8, 10, 12 carries maybe. And you can do away Tyler Beatty, you can be inactive, and there's your third down pass blocker in the game, and still use Jaleel the way you're using him, and use Harvey the way you're using him use him the way you're using Tyler Beatty with some more carries. That's how I would use him. And if all goes well the divisional round, then ramp it up some more in the AFC title game. So I'm not throwing everything on him, but I'm also, it's one other guy that I'm probably not dressing in this game, Tyler Beatty, because he, I mean, this is my opinion. He really offers you nothing, and he's done nothing.
Peter Johnson only wants to come in here and praise the living heck out of you. I'll get to the praise part first because you guys were talking almost the same time. He says they won't have to rely on J.K. McLaughlin, Harvey have taken on greater roles, and J.K. would be a filling guy at the least. Having him in any capacity would be better than not having him. And then he comes back in and says, Jody is absolutely right, and it's the playoffs. Run him into the ground if it means winning a Super Bowl. So
when you brought up
Greenlaw with you, buddy.
When you brought up Greenlaw and a couple of these other guys, they're under contract, and you've paid them big money. So I'm not rushing them back. It's why it's a no-brainer. I'm sitting Greenlaw this week and getting him a couple more. This is all I'm banking that you win this game because Herbert's not playing, but I'm sitting him a couple more weeks and getting him 100%, where Dobbins is just, I guess, the cherry on the top. If you get him and he's healthy and he can make a 3-game stretch, awesome. If not, you know what you're doing without him. So that's kind of where I'm at with him. And then if all goes well and he's back and he makes it through 3 games, if you are lucky enough or good enough to get to 3 games, then you can talk about next year. But
yeah. Yep, I understand where you're coming from, buddy. I understand where you're coming from. We'll hit actually probably this next game as well. And by the way, Peter, just thanks for coming in. Join us over on Facebook, and always bringing some great thoughts, content, ideas around the Denver Broncos. You're a posse member. I appreciate you, my friend. When it comes to the Chargers game, it came out really early, obviously. Justin Herbert not going to play. But we've been kind of scouring that injury report. We talked about this before. There's 3 players that come right off the top that were held out because of rest. And I really don't. I think me and you are in agreement. We're not expecting these guys to possibly play the game. Keenan Allen, wide receiver, out resting on Wednesday, did not practice. Derwin James out resting, safety, amazing safety for the Los Angeles Chargers, out resting, as well as Khalil Mack, outside linebacker. We all know that name as well. We don't expect any 3 of those guys to be playing in this game. On that list as well, Amarian Hampton is out with an ankle. Obviously, like I said, Herbert was actually limited, but they also have Nico Reed and Jamari Saylor, cornerback and offensive linemen, who are out with injuries as well.
There's centers on there too, but isn't Bozeman on there? Concussion or something? Didn't I see that?
I didn't see it on the one that I was looking at, but you could be right, my friend. The big thing is that there's a lot of names on here when we talk about Allen, Derwin James, Khalil Mack, and I'd also like to get your thoughts on Amarian Hampton with an ankle, what you think about him playing in this game. Pretty lopsided if we're going to go ahead and run all our starters out there, and we'll talk about whether the Broncos run all their starters out there as well. Your thoughts on the Chargers, them sitting their players and kind of conceding this game?
I think it makes sense because Herbert's so beat up, and I think why he came out so quickly. I think Herbert, after that game, he was getting hit, and Houston 5 sacks, and they were hitting him, and he came off a few times holding the hand and different things. Denver's pass rush is just as good. You have no chance without Herbert, so you want Herbert at 100%. And he glazes Herbert a lot, Harbaugh, and so he wants Herbert as ready to go, and then he'll take his chances. And I think he feels like he has the advantage. If they lose this game and Buffalo wins and they're the 7, that's 2 rookie quarterbacks back to back. You're going to New England, and you're going to Denver. That's a rookie and a second-year quarterback who's never beat you, and a rookie. So I think he likes that with his quarterback. So, but he's not getting there if Herbert gets beat up and he gets another game from Denver like Houston gave him. Herbert may not make it through a playoff game. So with this beat up O-line, they're on their 3rd left tackle, backup right tackle. It's bad.
It's been rough for the Chargers. They've put together quite a season, quite honestly, with all the injuries that they've had, and had to maneuver around. The number 5 seed seemed almost impossible for the Chargers. They would have to win versus the Broncos. The Texans would also have to lose to the Colts, and
who announced that there's Philip Rivers is done and Riley Leonard's playing. So,
and I believe the Texans would also have to lose. Texans would have to lose to the Colts. That's what. Yeah, Texans have to lose to the Colts. So, uphill battle to try to get to that number 5 seed. Number 6 seed, there's a lot of scenarios to play out where they could be the number 6 seed. But just to kind of give you an idea, a loss by the Chargers and the Bills win versus the Jets, and the Texans win over the Colts, and they're in the number 7 seed. So very good possibility they could be sitting in that number 7 seed as well. But 6 seed is like I said, has the most scenarios to play out. They're like you said, there's not enough opportunity for them to really be playing for the number 5 seed. They're going to be in the number 6 or 7, and they're going to try to take that battle on as healthy as they possibly can, kind of trying to concede this game in a lot of different ways. Trey Lance is going to be that quarterback. The one thing I would say about that is, let's face it, Patrick Mahomes wasn't out there quarterbacking the Chiefs, but his backup seemed to give fits to the Denver Broncos. The Denver Broncos with mobile quarterbacks haven't been the best. You see Trey Lance, possibly giving the Denver Broncos some fits with John Harbaugh leading from the sidelines, kind of the quarterback whisper.
No, and if you dive into numbers and stuff, the Chiefs only had 139 yards. He had the one where he fumbled it, and it was kind of a scramble drill, and he made a play. I mean, he didn't really do anything. Did Denver get sacks? No, but they still had Creed Humphrey, who's probably the best center in football. Trey Smith was in there, so they still had, Pro Bowl linemen in there. So I'm not worried about. Plus, I don't expect a lot of his weapons to be out there, or I don't expect probably Lad McConkey. Definitely don't expect Keenan Allen. So, and I think Denver's got to know he's going to be running because this whole line can't block. So, whether that means you put a spy on him or whatever it may be, so be it. But I don't think Denver's that worried about it. Plus, Sean Payton, I mean, like we talked about, he's pretty much over. I mean, cool, we won the AFC West on the goal too.
Mm-hmm.
He's laser focused, and I mean, he was rattling off stat after stat how important it is to get this number 1 seed and what it means and different things. So,
I have don't doubt we're locked in. I also have seen this Denver Broncos team have struggles at times, and it seems like mobile quarterbacks isn't their best. When they have a quarterback that wants to sit back in the pocket, yeah, look out. This defense and the way that we can get after him in the pass rush, forget about it. But, it's a little bit different game when we get a guy back there that can maneuver a little bit. I think will play into this game a little bit in the way that they're able to do it. I want to talk about the Denver Broncos, and then I want to bring up one other scenario that I heard somebody bring up. Nate Atkins, Pat Bryant, John Franklin Myers, all limited, but limited in practice. We did see Ben Powers and Karini Reed, full participants. And we saw Dre Greenlaw in a did not practice type of mode. I'll start from the bottom up. Dre Greenlaw, I know that you have an opinion there about maybe whether he should come back, whether he should play, or whether he should not in this pivotal game coming up this Sunday.
No, it's a no-brainer for me on Greenlaw. He's not playing. I let him. This is banking that you win this game, which I have confidence you do. That's basically all this week, and you got to buy. That's 2, and basically you can have another till you play on Sunday of the divisional round. So basically 3 weeks, you can ramp him up a couple days. I mean, I'm sitting him. I'm getting him right. For me, it's a no-brainer. He doesn't play.
Okay.
Especially with Sternad. I mean, you've seen what Sternad did at the beginning of the season, and this was one of the best defenses when he was in there. So I'm not worried there.
And I know you got an opinion on Ben Powers, so let's just knock that one right out of the way as well. Full participant, and that means for you,
he's your starting left guard, and it's time for him to start, and it's time for him to play the full game. I'm done. He's ramped up the last 2 games, and that's it. I'm playing him, and Alex Pajeski was fine, but last week Chris Jones, I mean, was a lot of pressure right up the middle, and whether that was because you had the backup center and a backup guard in there, the communication, you need Ben Powers in there. He can communicate better with Forsythe. They've played together before. It's a no-brainer for me. It's time to get him ramped up for the playoffs. So,
100%. A guy that we want to obviously keep the the revs down on a little bit as well. I kind of mentioned him in there, Pat Bryant. I think we're both under the opinion I don't need to rush him back. We don't need to rush him back for this game. Want to make sure that he's 100% healthy. I don't think he's that big of a needle mover, especially in a game like this. So unless he's, literally, I don't know, pulling at the chain to get out there and he's actually that healthy and you just want to get him a few snaps in this game, I don't see any reason for a Pat Bryant to take the field. And like I said, I think we're in agreement on this one as well.
If he does play, he's probably on a snap count, and I just get him, just with him being a rookie, I get him just like a preseason game, sweat it up a little bit and get him a few catches, and that's it. Really?
Yep.
I don't.
Yep. Go ahead.
And I'm smart with the big hit he took. I'm smart with kind of the routes he runs. I'm probably not running him right over the middle where he could, get blown up again. Just some little things. And little Jordan Humphreys, he's been serviceable in that position over the middle, and that's what I would do. I think if he's cleared, I think he'll at least dress. Bryant will dress, and you see just a little bit, just to get him back focused, get him a hit before the playoffs, so that he's not, because you don't want him in the playoffs with alligator arms because he's scared of that big hit. So just
That's fair.
once he gets that hit and it's like, oh, I'm up and I'm fine again, then I think everything's good.
Yeah, I agree completely. I want to hit a couple of our friends, our posse members that have come in here. Roy's coming in here and saying, hey there, posse and the horsemen, and a happy new year. We've been saying it this evening, Roy, a happy and safe new year as well. And then he's agreeing on Bryant. No reason to ramp him up, get him out there. If we do, like you said, maybe get him a little bit of sweat worked up, get him a hit or two, get him out of the game. Just get him so he's not second guessing what's going on out there.
Yeah, I definitely want him to get. I don't need him blowing up like he was, but I want him to get hit and get up, and I'm back. I'm back.
Nice little curl route, nice little fade route on the outside where he's maybe hit out of bounds, jumps back up. I'm all good with it. Yep.
Because what you don't want is in a big moment, Bo hits him in the numbers, or where he could make a big catch and he gets alligator arms because he's afraid to take a hit, and it costs you something big. So you don't want that. And I think one hit will get it out of the way. So,
yeah, there was a quarterback out there that saw ghosts one time. We don't need any wide receivers seeing ghosts out there as well. Like you said, I think it'd be good. Nick Ferguson was on a podcast just recently, and he advocated that the Denver Broncos potentially rest a guy or two. He gave one example of a guy, and I want to get your thoughts. Would you be okay if Patrick Surtain wasn't to play versus the Los Angeles Chargers, giving him a little bit of break and maybe giving Riley Moss a few more opportunities to match up, get thrown against, and get a few more reps as he heads into the playoffs?
No, I disagree with that. I'm playing my starters, and hopefully the game gets out of hand like it did Broncos Chiefs last year, week 18. And then you can sit guys. You don't have to. I mean, then you can get guys in there and get them out. But this game's important. I mean, do you want this bye or do you not? Do you not want to leave Denver again the rest of this year, or do you possibly have to go on the road twice? Once for sure. So I'm not in that mind frame, because there's still players over there and they can make plays. And Trey Lance, I mean, he was drafted 2 overall for a reason. He balled out in preseason. This is not Chris Oladuncan, or however you pronounce it. It's not him. This guy has NFL starting experience, and it's going to be a little bit different than what you've seen last week. So you want Pat Surtain to rest, go out there and build a big lead, and then you've allowed him to rest because the game's out of hand.
Yeah, I'll be honest, that was the rebuttal on the podcast, is basically let this game get out of hand. And I guess I'll bring up this podcast one more time because it kind of brings up another question that they had happened to bring up. Does this game need to be an out of hand type of game? Meaning, do the questions follow the Broncos if this is another close game like the one I got posted up behind me, and this ends up being a 20-13 Denver Broncos win, or with the Chargers sitting guys like Keenan Allen potentially, and Khalil Mack and Derwin James, and as Michael Ronquillo mentioned in here earlier, Harbaugh saying anybody that's injured in any capacity is probably not going to be playing this game. Do they need to blow it out? Should they have to blow it out, put up big scores, and potentially be resting those guys, like you were saying, later in this game if we have that ability?
I don't think it needs to be. I mean, the ultimate goal is you need to win this game, and I don't really care if you win it 3-0. That gets you the number 1 seed in a bye. But you really want to put this game away as quick as you can so you can get guys out so they're not injured. And I don't really I don't
Is
like
there
the idea.
if there is there concern if this is a 3-0 game heading into the playoffs for you at all?
No, because it's been that way all year.
Okay.
I mean, if it's 3-0, maybe, but I mean, if it's another 2013, no, because we've seen that all year. So if now you're concerned about it, I mean, you're about 18 weeks too late to being concerned about it. It is what it is at this
Lot
point.
of starters out in this game though too, man. I'm just
I
saying.
also don't like the idea of sitting multiple weeks and then trying to get ramped up again. I mean, if you sit past Sertan, he's basically not playing football for a month. I don't like the idea of that. So
Okay.
and I don't fall in the category of play scared. I mean, that's when you're gonna get hurt anyways if you're worried about getting hurt. So I don't like that idea. And like I said, I don't like the idea of sitting you don't play this game and you win that you're basically a month with no football games.
Fair enough, man. I think there might be opportunities, and I wouldn't be surprised if the Denver Broncos maybe do take those opportunities. Patrick Surtain, we went without for multiple weeks. He's an all-pro. We have one of the top defenses. We're going up against a backup quarterback and a lot of backup players. If you can't rely on the rest of the guys minus Patrick Surtain and make sure that he's 100% set, locked in, ready to go, I don't think another week makes a whole lot of difference. You're going to be resting guys. If it's 2 weeks, if it's 3 weeks, I don't think that should play majorly into their performance on the field. This team has been able to get ready for every single game, in my opinion, as far as the physical side of things. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see a guy like PS2 on a loaded defense be able to sit out. No different than I'm not rushing Drake Greenlaw back. I know that that's an injury, but PS2, I think we have the opportunity, the potential of possibly letting him rest during this game. It's about the only guy I can think of, though, at the same time. Man.
I was going to say, if it's one guy, I maybe can get on board, but I'm not sitting multiple starters because I go back to 2012. I mean, you were rolling. You were on a whatever that was, 12-game winning streak, and then you came into the playoffs and lost in the divisional round to the Ravens. So I don't want to see – I mean, what have we won? 11 of 12 games. You win this game, you've won 12 of 13, and I don't want to see that get derailed because you've let up and for some reason you lose this game because you're not playing guys. If you're not going to play PS2 and it's close at the end of the game, can you now put PS2 in? He hadn't played all game. I'm not really there. You want him to rest, go out there and get a lead and come the second half like the Patriots did last week against the Jets, then rest guys the second half. You get this game locked up because it's like it's the most important thing.
Fair enough, man. Fair enough. You sometimes you get talked into things, and I was thinking from the Sean Payton perspective. You're right. I think this game means everything. There's goals that he has, and resting a guy that's healthy might not necessarily not only build towards that goal, but it also I'm wondering how much it clouds the message. Let's put it that way.
And I'll rest guys if I would possibly rest more guys on D if I felt, or vice versa, if I felt more confident in my O can go out there and they're scoring 26, 27 a game. But I mean, you just put 13 up against the Chiefs. I mean, you're not blowing teams out. So if you were blowing teams out, then yeah, I can see that. Or if this D was playing the way it was the beginning of the season, that's different for me. But both sides are not there yet. So, I mean, this game's too important to say I got to have PS2 to be scared that he might get hurt.
That's fair. I'm going to hit the comments really quick. And maybe hit a sponsorship read. And I'll be honest, I don't know how much more time we'll hang out here. We wanted to come in here, have a New Year's Eve celebration with all y'all, talk some Denver Broncos, ring out the 2025 and ring in the new year. Michael's just letting us know those throwbacks are coming back one more time for the Denver Broncos as they suit up against the Los Angeles Chargers. Always nice to see that D on the side of the helmet. Our favorite uniforms, and maybe we'll see more of them in the future. I say that it could be near the end of the podcast, and if that would be the case, here comes a guy coming in like it's 4th and 99, Mr. Matt Staffiero, saying, "I expect the Denver Broncos to follow the KC game plan, the recipe that they had: dominate time of possession, long sustained drives, not flashy, just complete control. With the number 1 seed on the line, I expect starters out there until the game is also firmly in control."
I'll agree with that, and
go ahead. I was
I'll
say,
add one other thing. You possibly might play this team in 2 weeks again, so you win this game and they beat the Pats, you playing them again, so you don't want to show you don't want to play your hand. So they're kind of in that weird, how much do we show, but we've got to show enough to get this W. So, but like I was talking to a buddy earlier, I mean, he's got a Denny-sized menu play calling sheet. There's got to be something that he leaves in the bag that he doesn't have to show. So, I mean, if the play sheet's just so big that there's got to be something left in the bag. But
don't even know about the secret menu.
I mean, at this point, you're not running plays that you're 18 weeks now doing it, consistently. So, do we want to show another side of the playbook that we haven't ran all year in the playoffs? So, that's where I'm at. I'm not. You got to do whatever to win this game.
Peter Johnson brings up just a point. I'll just say this: this is an AFC West rivalry game first and foremost. It's a team that would, even as those backups go out there, probably even more so as those backups go out there, would love to be able to go out there and play spoiler. And he's just wondering if there's any concern if they go out there. And I'm just going to paraphrase this, Peter. Do we have a bounty gate almost type of situation where, Harbaugh is sending those backups out there, and it's almost like preseason when these guys are not only trying to make a name for themselves within a game, put themselves a little bit on the map, but also have the potential of maybe hurting this Denver Broncos team that they might match up against in the future as well. What are your thoughts around Peter's concerns here? And then I'll hit some more comments that I need to get to as well.
I think if that happens, Sean Payton will, make that pretty clear to the refs pretty fast, and the refs will put a stop to that pretty quick. I don't think they're gonna, you get one dirty shot. He'll put a stop to it quick. So I don't expect that type of thing, and I expect that there would be warnings right away and some different things. So I'm not worried about that.
I can't say I'm worried, but I'm also not saying I'm putting it out of my mind as a non-possibility either, Peter. I think you bring up a good point. As we head down the stretch and we're in a situation like this where they're resting a lot of starters, like I said, I look at this as almost like a preseason game opportunity for a lot of these guys that are going to be out there and taking the field for the Chargers. And a lot of times you just have to worry about the intensity that they're going out there and trying to play, let alone the fact that, again, I think the idea and the mindset that we're going to match up against these guys, you're out there trying to send messages a lot of times. It could be a pretty chippy game, and it's something to watch. But I'm going to agree with you as well. I think it's something that we see either team or either coach try to get a handle on as quickly as possible. Hey, I don't know if this is the real Bo Nix, but I'm just kidding. YouTube, we have at Bo Nix. Looks like season 10, if I'm reading that right. I'd love to see season 10 for Mr. Bo Nix for the Denver Broncos. But hey, saying Happy New Year's, fellows over on YouTube, and Happy New Year's to
I
you.
thought he scrubbed all his media accounts and stuff.
Maybe not. Maybe not. We don't know. Coming in all kind of sly. Patrick Wiltsey coming in here all the way over from the chain of islands that we call Hawaii. Coming in here, just dropping some stars, showing some love for the Denver Bronco Roundup podcast. 200 stars, and just got to say, lots of love to you. As New Year's is probably pretty dang close in your neck of the woods, if not already there. I don't do the I don't do the math very well when it comes to time zones, but he's saying aloha to the judge and Bruggs. Happy New Year's, boys. Good to see you, my friend, and Happy New Year to you as well. Lots of Happy New Year's going around through all the posse members. Jody, what have I missed? What else do we have to hit? Oh, I missed our sponsorship. Let me just talk about that real quick while I got you on the hook for a second, everybody. We have an amazing sponsor, sponsored us all throughout 2025 and expecting the same thing in 2026. That's Morgan Trinkets. Morgan Trinkets has been your headquarters for Southwest Jewelry, Southwest Pottery, Estate Gold at wholesale prices for over 35 years. Once they were a nationwide company, now they hang out in just northern Colorado, southern Wyoming. They do shows all over the place, dog shows, gem shows, horse shows. Check them out. If there's something happening in your fairgrounds, turn the corner. You might see Morgan Trinkets there. If not, head on over to Etsy, type in Morgan Trinkets Co. That's Morgan Trinkets Co. You'll have everything the Pearl Heater has to offer over at Morgan Trinkets. And I mentioned Pearl Heater's name because you can also head over to eBay, type in Pearl Heat. That's Pearl Heat. And she has a fantastic eBay store as well. Check out Morgan Trinkets. That's Morgan Trinkets, Morgan Trinkets Co. Pearl Heat over on eBay for all your Southwest Jewelry, Southwest Pottery, Estate Gold wholesale prices. And Happy New Year and good evening to Keith Stover that's coming in as well over on Facebook. Good to see you, my friend. Always glad to have you in the conversation as a posse member. Like I said, Jody, wanted to get in here, wanted to talk about the Denver Broncos. They have destiny in front of them with the number one seed sitting there in their grass. Just go out there and win. What a fantastic 2025 this has been. The Chargers are sitting players. There's injuries. The Denver Broncos just need to go out there and get it done. Alex Forsythe has played good. DJ Jones has played good. We talked about that a little bit. What else have I missed? What else do we need to talk about before we get out of here, my friend?
RJ Harvey, I mean, was a backup all year till Dobbins got hurt, and his role's been expanded. I think he's done good. Sean Payton needs to, I mean, the talks, he's got to show it now. Got to get him some more carries, got to run the ball. I mean, we were running the ball good last week, and we just stopped running it versus Jacksonville. So we got to run the ball more. Same with Jaleel. He said, I got to get him more touches. Well, then get him more touches. Those two things. You got to get him ramped up. You got to get both of them ramped up, because if Dobbins is not ready, we've seen what playoff football was last year in Buffalo. You could kind of hold Allen back a little bit with your defense, but when Buffalo just said, we're going to run the ball 30 times, they manhandled you.
Mm-hmm.
And I know you addressed some guys, Hufanga and Greenlaw, and some different things to fix that, but that it's a different type of football, and he's seen it last year, and so he's got to know that bully ball can come, so he needs to be doing the same thing. He got the best O-line in football, in my opinion, so use it.
Go out there, get it done, set a precedent, get a couple of guys maybe rolling into the playoffs who would love to see RJ Harvey continue, as Michael Ronquillo mentioned, and I had the comment up on the screen just a moment ago, leads all rookies with touchdowns, doing it in the receiving as well as the running side of things, even probably more so in the receiving side of things than the running side of things, but has definitely come on, has been more of that north and south runner that you wanted, Jody, that he wasn't at the very beginning of the season as he continued to try to move it to the outside, bust it outside, try to make a move. Now he seems like he's a lot better about getting north and south, setting up his blocks, getting yards on every single play, rather than taking losses at times or barely getting to the line of scrimmage. So big improvements from RJ Harvey, good things that we'd like to see and continue to see as well. I guess if we're just going to be at things that we would like to see continue to get better, or show some dominance or some improvement in before we hit the playoffs, I'll just go back to a guy that I love a lot and love watching, but and maybe has been picked on, especially when it comes to the guys who wear the black and white stripes. But Riley Moss, I think, has an opportunity to go out there and maybe show off and get a little bit better in this game versus the Chargers. He's had a couple of rough games, especially a couple of weeks ago when it came to tackling and even some of his pass interference calls have been warranted as well. So just love to see Riley Moss go out there and get it locked in. That's one of the things that would be good heading into wherever we are at, seeded out in the playoffs, with the expectation and hopes that we're in the number 1 seed.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with what Matt posted earlier. I expect this to be control the ball, shorten this clock, run. If you get 4 8+ minute drives, finish in the red zone. Don't go 2 for 4. Make it 3 for 4, 4 for 4 with touchdowns, and put this game away. Get everyone out of here healthy, and that's goal 2. Well, that's goal 2, the highest seed possible.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the highest seed possible, and get ready for your first playoff game in Denver in whatever it's been, 10 years.
Jody, we have podcast planned right now for Friday. I'm sorry, for Friday. Why did I even say that? For Saturday at 7:30, kind of our real pregame warm up, and then hopefully maybe a pregame and a postgame on Sunday as well. Are you going to be available between now and when the Denver Broncos and Chargers kick off on Sunday, or do we need to get a prediction from you right now? I guess that's where I'm at.
Sorry. Yeah, I'll be around.
Right on, brother. So we'll save that. We'll save that for at least one of those 2 shows, most likely that pregame show that we were talking about, us maybe hopefully all getting on. But Posse members, unless you have any pressing final thoughts, but by all means, get them in there. Patrick Wiltsey has one, like I said, coming in from Hawaii. He's just asking, all I ask is to leave everything on the field and to keep our heads held high. Yeah, I think we will come out heads held high with a victory, my friend. We'll get more into that as the week progresses when we talk about it on Saturday and Sunday. But I think that leaving it all on the table is probably the route that we're going to see. Jody kind of even talked to me into it regarding Patrick Surtain as well. I don't see Sean Payton relenting in any particular way until this game is put away and he knows that he has the victory sealed up. Otherwise, there's goals for this team. He's set goals for this team. It's not making the playoffs. It's about winning the AFC West, then making sure you get that number 1 seed, and then hopefully we're talking about a Super Bowl. And those are the goals that we have in front of us. So I think that we will see everything on the field for both the players as well as the coaches as they go out there to try to get that goal, that number 1 seed, my friend.
Yeah, I agree, because it buys Greenlaw basically 3 more weeks, and possibly allows J.K. Dobbins back. If you have to play in the wild card, I would almost be certain that he doesn't play in that game, and if it goes bad, you won't see him again. So I think the extra week is big time. So
yeah, it's big time, and probably more importantly, even that home field advantage throughout the playoffs. Let's face it, that's this Denver Bronco team, and Sean Payton talked about it. I loved how not trying to throw any shade towards anybody, but how that home, that home, those home games, that hometown crowd has changed since his tenure, and how absolutely brutal they can be to the opposing teams. That is what you want. Forget about weather, and we got the outdoor stadium, and sure weather could play a factor in the whole 9 yards, and even forget about elevation. I think that teams have gotten better about playing in the elevation over time as well. But not being able to hear that crushing home crowd coming down on an opposing team, it's ranking up there with some of the best home. I think the loudest stadiums. We need a recount, a revote, because I think the Denver Broncos have moved up a notch or two when it comes to that. That place has been chaos for teams that have come in there as of late this season.
I agree with that. Sean Payton, he's let it be known the Chiefs game, the Packers game, the Jaguars game, how important the crowd noise is and different things. I was at the Kansas City game. I seen it firsthand. The Packers game, we seen it. We seen it in the Jaguars game. They didn't call it. They missed probably 3-4 delay of game penalties. So it's big time. And I only expected. I mean, it's going to be a sellout there. You're going to have 95% Broncos, whatever team you play at home. So it's big time. I seen it. The Chiefs were gassed in the fourth quarter. The Packers were gassed in the fourth quarter. So use it to your advantage.
And then we got, I did say, hey, do we have any final questions or thoughts? And Keith had one. Before we get out of here, I want your thoughts on this. What phase do you think is the most critical coming up? Well, I'll just use this next. Well, I'll use what we have coming up because we're in the playoffs as well. Whether it be this Chargers game or the playoffs, do the Denver Broncos offense need to continue to make strides and maybe show their prowess in some ways? Do the Denver Broncos defense need to get maybe back on track to their best ways? Like you said, I think that was earlier in the season and have shown some cracks here and there as of late, at least as far as the scoring that's been put up against the Denver Broncos. Or is it going to just come down to the third phase of all of this? Is it going to come down to making sure that things like special teams pave the way towards Denver Broncos wins? Because we all know it can certainly pave the way to losses if it's not, working out in your favor, whether it be field goals, bad punts, or even bad coverage on returns. Special teams plays a big piece. Where do you want the focus? What do you think is the most critical coming up as we head into the playoffs?
For me, it's defense. I don't want to let Trey Lance get going. He's a number 2 overall pick for a reason, and he's going out there to showcase to 32 other teams that need a quarterback next year that he could possibly be a starter. So I don't want him to get any sort of confidence or anything, shut him down early. And I have enough confidence in the offense that they'll score enough. But I don't want this to be a shootout. I don't want Trey Lance to get going. And I'd like to see this defense, their last game going into the playoffs, where teams are like, that's the defense of the beginning of the season, and that's the team that was, sacking quarterbacks and number 1 in the red zone and number 1 in basically everything. So for me, it's the defense, because if Trey Lance gets hot like he did, I mean, he kind of balled out in the preseason, and if that was to happen, I don't want, because then you've got to do a bunch of different things. You're going to have to show things on offense and do some different things, and I don't want to have to rely on our offense scoring 28, 30 points. So
I'm going to take the opposite side of the coin, my friend. I guess because of all the things you just said. I think whether you look statistically or whether you look at just overall how this team has performed, I guess I have a lot of faith in what this Denver Broncos defense can possibly bring to the table on any given Sunday. But the one question we have had is the offense from time to time. For the offense to go out there, be firing on all cylinders, whether that be run game, which should be a major part of this, or whether it be Bo Nix in the passing game, I think what that could do not only for this team, their confidence, how they feel about things, but also, maybe changing the narrative slightly um, around what this team is and what you have to be worried about as you head into the playoffs would be nice as well. So that's where I'm on the other side of the coin. I'm going to rely on the fact that this defense has been good and that they will perform, but I would still like to see just a little bit more from the offense. Hit a few more comments and then maybe get one more from you as well, if you'd like, before we get out of here. Get more turnovers on the Broncos defense, something that the Denver Broncos haven't done in the last 2 weeks of the last 2 weeks, Jody, is get any type of turnovers when it comes to the defense. And it's not like they were racking them up before. This Denver Broncos team does rank fairly low when it comes to turnovers. And that's what Michael Ronquillo would like to see, a little bit more turnovers as well.
For me, turnovers would be nice, but it hadn't happened all year, so we don't need them to win games. We've proved that all year. But I would like on defense as well. I'd like to see this pass rush get after Trey Lance all game, expose this O-line even more than what Houston did, and make it a rough day for Trey Lance. Because that's, to me, he's the wild card. He's still a number 2 overall pick, and we've seen different quarterbacks, whether it's Mac Jones or Zach Wilson, even here with the right coaches and different things that they can do things, and I don't want to see that happen.
Yeah, I don't. Guess what? Neither do I. And Mile High Viking coming in here, man. Thank you, man. Gracing the show, and I've been hanging out on their podcast a little bit. Maybe that's a little bit of showing a little bit of love. But he's coming in here and saying, gentlemen, happy freaking New Year and go 2025 AFC West champion, Denver Broncos. If you haven't already, man, doing my job right here. Make sure you mash that like and share and that thumbs up button. Hit the subscribe button if you're over there on YouTube. We appreciate it a ton. And Viking, we appreciate you coming in here, not only reminding me that I need to put the call out to like, share, and subscribe, but also good to see you, my friend, man. Don't get enough of you right here on the Denver Bronco Roundup podcast. Broncos need 8 sacks. They're away from breaking the sack record of 72, says Michael Ronquillo, one of his final thoughts. Final thoughts, though, is where we are at, my friend, almost right at that hour. Before we get out of here, what do you got to say to Broncos country for 2025? And before we, talk to him next time in 2026?
14-3 in 2025. Let's hope it starts off 1-0 in 2026, and we accomplish the second of 3 goals for Sean Payton and get the highest seed possible. To me, it's besides health, it's the second most important thing because of what the advantages of here bring: the altitude, the crowd noise, different things. And I'm excited for it. We're ahead of schedule. You're still eating 30-some million of Russ's deal, and so let's keep it going. And I'm excited for this playoff run.
I am too, my friend. I'm excited for a lot of things, man. Future is bright for the Denver Broncos. Future's bright for the Denver Bronco Roundup podcast and Rocky Mountain Sports Network. Multiple shows. Like I said, next show scheduled will be 7:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, Saturday evening. Being me and Trevor jumping on there, kind of, again, diving into this Chargers game in depth. And then pregame show, post-game show. We're going to try to get both of those wrapped up on either side of the Denver Broncos Chargers game as they wear their throwbacks, and go for the number one. More importantly, man, go out there, have a safe, happy holiday with the New Year's this evening. I want everyone to be back here talking Denver Broncos. So as much fun as you have, make sure safety is in mind as well if you're going out there and enjoying in the way that we sometimes enjoy the holidays around the New Year's as well. Looking forward to fantastic things from the Posse members and all the fans of the show because dang it, we've had a fantastic 2025 and we deserve a great 2026 as well. So nothing but love, says Mile High Viking. And Johnny, good to see you, man. Lots of love to you and to all the Posse members. But I want to get out of here the way we always do, man. One last time for 2025. Make sure you keep those boots in the stirrups, guns in the holsters, and of course, Denver Broncos in your heart. Thank you all so much, and have a, like I said, fantastic 2025. New Year's, be safe, be happy, and can't wait to see you in 2026. We're out of here. Have a good one, everybody. Seriously, it's over. It's time for you to go. I appreciate you hanging out, everybody, after this, but time to go, man. 2025 in the books, man. See you in 2026.